The afternoon sunlight lay low across the outskirts of the city. Sua stepped off the bus and walked down a narrow alley. It was because of a school assignment. Find analog audio equipment from the 1980s and write a report about it. The professor's request was simple. But finding such items in this era was not easy. At the end of the alley, she saw a faded sign. The words, Samsung Electronics Authorized Dealer, were barely readable. Below the sign was a small shop with its door half open. Sua walked in. The smell of dust stung her nose. Broken fans, old televisions, rusted metal shelves. Everything was piled up in disarray, as if time had stopped. Hello, is anyone here? No answer came. Sua carefully walked deeper inside. Then she saw a shadow moving near the window. A male student sat at a small workbench. School uniform pants and a white shirt. Oil stains marked his rolled-up sleeves. He had a radio in front of him. An old, rusted radio. Looking into it, he quietly muttered to himself. This one, stubborn but also quite sensitive. Sua stopped at that voice. The student unscrewed the bolts with a screwdriver. Slowly, but precisely, he pressed the parts gently with his fingertips to check their condition. Then he lightly brushed away the dust with the back of his hand. But I'll take good care of you. He spoke to the radio. Sua's heart dropped with a thud. It was her father. Her father always said that. Whenever he fixed machines, he always muttered like that. The habit of furrowing his eyebrows. The way he dusted with the back of his hand. The expression when concentrating, with only the left corner of his mouth slightly raised. Everything was identical. Sua unconsciously covered her mouth. She couldn't breathe. This can't be. The student looked up. He showed a slightly surprised expression when he saw Sua. Who are you? Sua couldn't answer. She could only stare at him. The boy's face was unfamiliar. But his hand movements, his way of speaking, his expressions were too familiar. Are you a customer? What are you looking for? The boy asked again. Sua barely regained her composure. Analog audio equipment. For a school assignment. Oh, that? It's in the back. Just a moment. The boy stood up and walked into the back storage room. Sua stared blankly at where he had been sitting. Her heart was racing. A strange feeling washed over her. The boy returned. He was holding an old cassette deck. This might work. It's an early 1980s model. The condition isn't bad either. Thank you. Sua took the item. But her gaze wasn't on the item, it was on the boy's hands. Those hands. They were rough like her father's hands. She could see small scars from handling machines. What's your name? Sua asked. Jin-woo. Kim Jin-woo. Do you work here? Yes. Part-time. I come after school to help repair machines. Jin-woo smiled shyly. Sua couldn't continue speaking. Something churned in her chest. It had been 3 years since her father passed away. During that time, she had never been able to recall her father's image. His voice, his habits, everything had faded. But now, in this boy, she saw her father. Are you okay? Jin-woo asked with a worried expression. I'm fine. Just. Sua trailed off. Jin-woo tilted his head, then returned to the workbench. Looking at the radio again, he quietly muttered. The circuit is a bit complicated. But I can fix it. Sua watched him for a long time. Her father was like that too. He fixed machines in his study late into the night. Though busy with company work, he repaired old radios and clocks as a hobby. Machines don't speak, but they have hearts. That's what her father always said. Sua held the cassette deck to her chest. Then quietly left the junkyard. Outside, cold wind brushed her face. Sua turned around. Through the small window, she could see Jin-woo. He was still fixing the radio. Could it be? Sua shook her head. It was an absurd thought. But somewhere in her chest, a small voice whispered. It might be Dad. Sua couldn't take a step. After standing there for a while, she slowly left the alley. That night, Sua couldn't sleep. Jin-woo's hand movements kept coming to mind. His muttering echoed in her ears. She thought of her father's study. The old tools on the desk. The old radios hanging on the wall. Sua turned on her phone. She pulled up her father's photo. It was the last photo they took together. Her father was smiling. He held a small compass in his hand. Sua stared at the photo for a long time. Dad. Is it really you? There was no answer, but Sua knew. Tomorrow, she would go to that junkyard again. 3 days passed. Sua stood in front of that alley again. The assignment was already finished. She had photographed the cassette deck and submitted her report. There was no reason to go to the junkyard anymore. Yet her feet led her there. She pushed the door open and saw Jin-woo. This time he was fixing an old camcorder. Oh, you came again. Jin-woo looked up and said, yes, I was just passing by. Sua smiled awkwardly. Jin-woo looked at her for a moment, then focused on his work again. This is an old model. The circuit is delicate and it's a bit temperamental. That way of speaking again. Sua swallowed. Do machines have moods? Sua asked carefully. Jin-woo stopped his hands and looked at her. They do. The older the machine, the more sensitive it is. If you force it, it breaks more. If you coax it slowly, it comes back to life. Who taught you that? No one. I just learned by handling them. Jin-woo looked at the camcorder again. Sua carefully sat next to him. Jin-woo looked at her surprised, but soon focused on his work again. When did you start working with machines? Since elementary school. My family struggled, so we couldn't throw away broken things. So I started fixing them myself. Your family? Jin-woo's hands paused briefly. I live with my mother. My father passed away when I was young. I'm sorry. It's okay. It was a long time ago. Jin-woo spoke calmly. Sua looked at him. The boy's face showed composure rather than sadness. Did someone help you when you were young? Jin-woo looked up. Why? Just curious. Jin-woo thought for a moment, then nodded. There was, not long after my father passed. A man came to our house. Sua's heart began to race. What for? I don't know exactly. He only talked with my mother. But after that day, our situation improved a bit. That person, what did he look like? Jin-woo tilted his head. I don't remember well, but his eyes were warm. He talked to me too. What did he say? You're good with your hands. You'll become a good person someday. Sua bit her lip. It was her father. Without a doubt. Her father always said that. When he praised people, he always spoke like that. That man, don't you know his name? No. He just came once and never came back. Jin-woo touched the camcorder again. Sua couldn't ask anymore. Something stirred in her chest. Why did her father help Jin-woo's family? Why didn't he tell Sua about it? Did you receive anything then? Receive something? Jin-woo looked up. Yes, an object or anything. Jin-woo hesitated for a moment, then searched his bag. He pulled out a small cloth pouch. This? He opened the cloth pouch, and an old silver compass appeared. Sua's breath stopped. The compass. It was the compass her father always carried. That. Where did you get it? Sua's voice trembled. Jin-woo carefully stroked the compass. That man gave it to me that day. He said, keep this safe. Someday you'll need it. Why? Why did he give it to you? I don't know, but strangely, when I look at it, I feel at peace. Jin-woo looked into the compass. Sua felt tears welling up. But she held them back. Why did her father do that? Why did he entrust his precious item to Jin-woo? Excuse me, Jin-woo said carefully. Why do you keep asking me? Do you know that man? Sua couldn't answer. Jin-woo saw her expression and didn't ask further. He just put the compass back in the pouch. I'm sorry for asking strange things. It's okay. But, will you come again? Jin-woo asked. Sua looked up. Why? Just having someone next to me makes the work go better. Jin-woo smiled shyly. Sua looked at that smile and nodded. Yes, I'll come. That night, Sua entered her father's study. She opened the old desk drawer. Her father's belongings were neatly organized. A watch, fountain pen, photos. And there was one empty space. The space where the compass should have been. Sua stared at that empty space for a long time. Dad, why did you do it? There was no answer, but Sua had to know. What happened between her father and Jin-woo? Why her father entrusted the compass to Jin-woo? And why Jin-woo resembled her father so much? Sua made a decision. To find out the truth. A week passed. Sua went to the junkyard every day. At first, it was an excuse about the assignment. Then it was a lie about taking a walk. Now she said nothing at all. Jin-woo didn't ask either. He just offered her the old chair next to the workbench. Sua sat there and watched Jin-woo work. His hand movements, expressions, way of speaking. The more she watched, the more he resembled her father. What are you fixing today? A fan. The motor died, so I'm replacing it with another one since there are no parts. Jin-woo held a small motor in his hand and examined it from all angles. I wonder if this will fit. He carefully inserted the motor. The sound of gears meshing could be heard. Got it. Jin-woo smiled slightly. Sua felt her chest tighten watching that smile. Jin-woo, what's your dream? My dream? Jin-woo looked up. Well, I just want to keep fixing machines. Even if I don't make much money, it's work that helps people. Aren't you going to college? Jin-woo was silent for a moment. Given my family's situation, it'll be difficult. What about scholarships? My grades aren't that good. Jin-woo spoke calmly. Sua couldn't ask anymore. His life was too different from hers. The only daughter of Seojin Group's chairman. A life where she could have anything she wanted. But Jin-woo was different. Someone who lived by what he could do rather than what he wanted to do. Jin-woo, yes? That compass. Can I see it one more time? Jin-woo hesitated. Why? Is it something special? No, just. It's pretty. Jin-woo searched his bag and pulled out the cloth pouch. He carefully took out the compass and handed it to Sua. Sua took it with trembling hands. It was cold and heavy. The surface had small scratches. Traces of her father carrying it his entire life. Sua slowly opened the compass. The needle pointed north, and on the back, small letters were engraved. Justice always points to the right path. Her father's motto. Tears welled up in Sua's eyes. Are you okay? Jin-woo asked worriedly. Yes, I'm fine. Sua returned the compass. Jin-woo took it and put it back in the pouch. This is really precious. I know, Jin-woo said quietly. The person who gave this to me was the only person who gave me hope. Sua looked at him. That person, what did he say? Even when things are hard, don't give up. The world is wider than you think. Jin-woo looked out the window. Since that day, I've believed those words and lived by them. Sua took a deep breath. That night, Sua went to see her mother. Her mother sat on the living room sofa reading a book. She was the vice chairman of Seojin Group, and had taken over management after her father's death. Mother, what? Her mother didn't look up from her book. Did father help anyone when he was alive? Her mother's hand stopped. Why suddenly? Just curious. Her mother closed the book. Your father helped many people. That was the problem. What do you mean? He used company money carelessly. The board of directors took issue with it. Sua's heart sank. Did father do something wrong? Not wrong exactly. He was naive. The world isn't that easy. Her mother opened the book again. Don't think about such things now. The past is the past. Sua couldn't ask anymore. She returned to her room and lay on the bed. She stared at the ceiling. Did her father really do something wrong? Or did he do the right thing? The next day, Sua went to the junkyard again. But Jin-woo wasn't there. Only the shop owner, an old man, was present. Where's Jin-woo? He went to school. Said he has an exam today. Ah, I see. Sua turned to leave but stopped. Excuse me, sir. Yes? Has Jin-woo been working here long? 2 years now. Good kid. Hard-working. His family? The old man was silent for a moment. Lives with his mother. His father passed away early. Factory accident. Sua couldn't breathe. Factory accident? Yes. The family struggled a lot because of it. Didn't even get proper compensation. Sua lowered her head. Which factory? Let's see. Was it a Seojin Group affiliate? I'm not sure exactly. Sua's body froze. Seojin Group. Her father's company. Did someone help them then? I don't know who, but someone paid the hospital bills and living expenses. Thanks to that, Jin-woo could attend school. Sua couldn't hear anymore. She left the junkyard with her head down. Outside, her legs gave out. She leaned against the alley wall and gasped for breath. It was her father. Jin-woo's father had an accident at a Seojin Group affiliate, and her father had helped that family. And left the compass. Why? Sua pulled out her phone. She searched for her father's company records. An article from 3 years ago appeared. Seojin Group affiliate factory accident, 1 worker dead. It was a short article. No names were mentioned. SUA searched more. Seojin Group Chairman Seo Jin-ho dies suddenly 1 month after accident. 1 month between the two incidents. A short time. SUA put down her phone. Her hands trembled. Her father tried to help Jin-woo's family. And 1 month later, her father passed away too. It was ruled an accident. A traffic accident during a business trip. But now SUA had doubts. Was it really an accident? That night, SUA went to her father's study. She searched the bookshelf, opened drawers. She thought there would be something. Believed there would be a clue. But there was nothing. All the documents were cleanly organized. Too clean. SUA sank to the floor. Father. Jin-woo. Compass. Accident. All the pieces were scattered. But she didn't know how to put them together. The next day, SUA met Jin-woo again. You couldn't come yesterday, right? Jin-woo said with a smile. Yeah. Did the exam go well? It was okay. Jin-woo started working again. SUA looked at him. She wondered if she should tell him. But her mouth wouldn't open. Jin-woo. Yes? Your father. How did he pass away? Jin-woo's hands stopped. He slowly looked up. Why? Just curious. Jin-woo was silent for a moment. It was a factory accident. He got caught in a machine. He couldn't continue. Tears welled up in Sua's eyes. I'm sorry. It's okay. It was a long time ago. Jin-woo returned to his work. But his hands were trembling. SUA watched and made a decision. She had to know the truth. What happened between her father and Jin-woo? And whether that accident was really an accident. SUA headed to the company. Seojin Group Headquarters Building. A 30-story glass building reflected the sunlight. SUA took the elevator. 25th floor, Management Support Office. She opened the door and the secretaries bowed their heads. The chairman's daughter is here. A young secretary guided her. Is Vice President Kong in? Yes, he's inside. SUA knocked on the vice president's office door. Come in. A low voice came. She opened the door to find Vice President Kong Do-hyun sitting at his desk. Mid-50s, in a gray suit with gold-rimmed glasses. He had been her father's longtime secretary. Now he was the real power in the company. Miss SUA, what brings you here? Kong Do-hyun smiled, but that smile felt cold. I want to see the records of the factory accident from 3 years ago. Kong Do-hyun's smile hardened. Why? For a school project. I'm researching corporate safety management. SUA told the lie she had prepared. Kong Do-hyun looked at her for a moment. That accident has already been closed. There aren't many records either. I still want to see them. That's not possible. Kong Do-hyun's voice became firm. Why not? It's company confidential. Can't be disclosed externally. I'm not external. Miss SUA, you're still a student. You're not in a position to be involved in company matters. Kong Do-hyun organized his papers and said, please leave. SUA didn't back down. That accident. Was proper compensation provided? Kong Do-hyun's hand stopped. What do you mean? Did you properly compensate the bereaved family? Of course we did. According to the law. According to the law? Is that all? Sua's voice rose. Kong Do-hyun took off his glasses. Miss SUA, this isn't a matter to be resolved with emotions. The company operates according to regulations. Father didn't do it that way. Kong Do-hyun's expression hardened. Don't bring up the chairman. Why not? I want to know what father was trying to do. The chairman was too naive. He saw the world too idealistically. Kong Do-hyun put his glasses back on. That's why he died. SUA couldn't breathe. What do you mean? Nothing. Just face reality. Kong Do-hyun stood up from his seat. Now leave. It's better to leave the past in the past. SUA glared at him. You're hiding something, aren't you? No, you're lying. Miss SUA. Kong Do-hyun's voice turned cold. Do you know who you're talking to? I do. I'm talking to someone responsible for my father's death. Kong Do-hyun's face contorted. Get out. No. I said get out. Kong Do-hyun shouted. SUA stepped back. Kong Do-hyun caught his breath and sat down again. Miss SUA, you're still young. You don't know how the world works. Then teach me. You don't need to know. Just focus on school. Kong Do-hyun opened a document. SUA said nothing more. She left the room. Walking down the hallway, SUA clenched her fists. Her nails dug into her palms. He was definitely hiding something. Something related to her father's death. Sua took the elevator. She went down to the first floor. As she crossed the lobby, someone called her. Miss Sua. She turned to see a middle-aged woman standing there. She was an accounting department employee. Can we talk for a moment? What is it? The woman looked around. Not here. Let's go outside. The two went to a cafe outside the building. Sitting in a corner, the woman said quietly. What you asked the vice president about? It's the factory accident, right? Yes. How did you know? I organized the records back then. Sua leaned forward. What happened then? The woman hesitated. The chairman personally gave money to the bereaved family. Without the company knowing. How much? I don't know exactly, but it was a significant amount. He covered hospital bills, living expenses, even tuition. Sua's chest grew warm. And then? It became a problem. The board found out. What did they say? They reprimanded the chairman, said he used company funds carelessly. The woman lowered her voice. And 1 month later, the chairman passed away. Sua swallowed. The accident. Was it really an accident? The woman didn't answer. I don't know. But there were many suspicious things. Like what? The day of the accident, the chairman wasn't scheduled for a business trip. The schedule was suddenly arranged. Who arranged it? The vice president. Sua's body froze, and the accident investigation ended quickly. Too quickly. The woman pulled a small envelope from her bag. This. The chairman left it on my desk the day before he died. He said, just in case, please keep this. Sua took the envelope with trembling hands. What's in it? I don't know. I didn't open it, but I think you should have it now. Sua gripped the envelope tightly. Why are you giving this to me now? I was scared. If this got out, I might be in danger too. The woman stood up. Be careful. This matter is deeper than you think. And she left the cafe. Sua was left alone. She looked down at the envelope. Her hands trembled, but she had to open it. She slowly tore open the envelope. Inside was a small USB drive. And a note. It was her father's handwriting. Sua, if you found this, I'm probably no longer in this world. The truth is in here. But be careful. Truth can sometimes be dangerous. Tears fell from Sua's eyes. Her father knew that danger would come to him. Sua gripped the USB tightly. There was no turning back now. She had to know the truth, even if it put her in danger. Sua returned home. She locked her door and turned on her laptop. She inserted the USB. Her hands trembled. A file opened. It was a video file. She pressed play. Her father appeared on the screen. The video was shot in his study. Sua. Her father's voice. A voice she hadn't heard in 3 years. Sua stared at the screen. If you're watching this, I probably won't be there. I'm sorry. Her father was silent for a moment. I made a mistake. I used company money carelessly. But I don't regret it. He continued slowly. You know a boy named Jin-woo, right? His father died at our factory. Because of a faulty safety device. Sua stopped breathing. The company tried to avoid responsibility. They blamed the subcontractor and tried to provide only minimal compensation. Her father's expression darkened. I couldn't allow that, so I helped them personally. Hospital bills, living expenses, even the boy's tuition. But the board found out. They reprimanded me. Her father looked straight at the camera. Sua, if I have an accident. It won't be an accident. Tears fell from Sua's eyes. This USB contains evidence. Safety device defect reports, the company's cover-up. Attempts, everything is in here. I tried to reveal this to the world. But I don't think I have time. Her father paused. I entrusted the compass to Jin-woo. I'm going to hide this USB inside it. Sua looked up. The compass. It meant there was a USB inside it. Jin-woo is a good kid. Kind and diligent. He reminds me a lot of myself. Her father smiled. Sua, if you learn this truth, the choice is yours. You can reveal it to the world, or you can bury it. I won't force you, but remember, truth always sets someone free. The video ended. Sua stared at the screen. Her father's face was frozen there. The tears wouldn't stop. Sua closed the laptop. She took out the USB and gripped it tightly. She had to know whether there really was another USB inside the compass. The next day, Sua went to the junkyard. She saw Jin-woo. He was still fixing machines. Jin-woo. Jin-woo looked up. Oh, you came? The compass. Can I look at it more closely? Jin-woo tilted his head. Why? You looked at it yesterday. I want to see it again. Closely. Jin-woo hesitated, then took out his bag. He handed her the compass. Sua took it with trembling hands. She slowly examined the back. She saw a small gap. A barely visible groove. She pressed lightly with her nail. Click. The back panel opened. Jin-woo approached in surprise. What is it? What's in there? There was a small space. Inside was a USB drive. Sua swallowed. What is that? Jin-woo asked. Sua took out the USB. Jin-woo, I think we need to talk. The two went to a small storage room behind the junkyard. They sat on old chairs. Sua slowly began to speak. My father was the person who helped your family. Jin-woo's eyes widened. Really? Yes. And this USB contains the truth. Sua took out her laptop from her bag. She inserted the USB. Files opened. Reports, photos, documents. All related to the factory accident. Jin-woo stared at the screen. These are records related to my father's accident? Yes. Your father died because of the company's fault. Sua spoke carefully. The safety device was broken, but the company didn't fix it. Because of the cost. Jin-woo's hands trembled. So, that's why my father died? Yes. And my father found out. He tried to reveal the truth. Sua scrolled through the screen. But company people stopped him, and 1 month later, my father died too. Jin-woo lowered his head. Then, is my father's death my fault? No, Sua said firmly. It's not your fault. It's the company's fault. Jin-woo held back tears. Then, what should we do now? Sua was silent for a moment. We have to reveal the truth. So their deaths won't be in vain. But, how? We reveal these records to the world. To the press, to the courts. Jin-woo looked up. Then, what happens to your company? I don't know, but it's the right thing to do. Sua looked at Jin-woo. It's what my father tried to do, and the justice your father deserves. Jin-woo thought for a moment. Okay, let's do it together. The two clasped hands. But we have to be careful. If the company people find out. Sua said. I know, but we can't back down now. Jin-woo nodded. That night, Sua went to see a lawyer. He was an old friend of her father's. She showed him the records. The lawyer looked at the screen with a serious expression. This is tremendous evidence. Can we sue? We can. But it won't be easy. The opponent is Seojin Group. We still have to do it. Sua said firmly. The lawyer nodded. All right, let's prepare. A week later, the lawsuit was filed. The media exploded. Seojin Group factory accident cover-up allegations. Late chairman Seo Jin-ho died trying to reveal truth? Articles poured out. Sua watched TV at home. Her face appeared on the screen. Her mother entered the living room. Did you do this? Yes. Sua looked up. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. The company could be ruined. Then it should be ruined. Sua stood up. Was what father tried to protect the company? Or justice? Her mother couldn't answer. I'm father's daughter. I want to live like father. Sua went to her room. The next day, Jin-woo called. Sua, are you okay? Yeah, are you? I'm okay too. But, thank you. For what? For remembering my father. And, for fighting. Sua smiled. It's the right thing to do. When can I see you? Soon. We have to prepare for trial. Okay, see you then. She hung up and Sua looked out the window. It wasn't over yet, but it had begun. The first step toward truth. And Sua knew. Her father would be proud. 3 months passed. The trial began. The courtroom was packed. Sua and Jin-woo sat at the plaintiff's table. Across from them was Seojin Group's legal team. Vice President Kang Do-hyun was there too. He glared at Sua. The judge entered. We will begin the trial. Evidence was submitted. Safety device defect reports. Documents showing the company's cover-up attempts. The video her father left behind. Everyone listened in silence. The lawyer said, victim Kim Jin-woo's father died due to company negligence. And chairman Seo Jin-ho, who tried to reveal this, also died in a suspicious accident. Is all this coincidence? No. This is clear cover-up. Seojin Group's lawyer objected. Insufficient evidence. The chairman's death was concluded as a traffic accident. But doubts remain. The trial was fierce. Then one day, a new witness appeared. It was the factory manager at the time. I wrote a false report. The courtroom stirred. It was company orders. Even though the safety device was broken, they told me to report it as fine. Why did you do it? Because of cost. Fixing it meant stopping the factory, and that meant losses. Who gave the orders? The manager pointed at Kang Do-hyun. That person. Kang Do-hyun jumped up. That's a lie. Your Honor, I have evidence.